Ann, I would like to introduce Ann Taylor, who's been sitting patiently here. Ann is the Director of Community Engagement for AIM and is here to share some resources that the AIM Foundation can provide.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. Hello to everyone who has joined us today. I have a couple of slides to share briefly, and as I do that, I want to start by saying, let's see, is it going to come up? Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Can everyone see that? I want to start by adding my voice to Sam's and thanking Twin and Marcia and Tiffany for working beside me to organize this symposium. They were an absolute pleasure to work with. So thank you so very much. And then I also, of course, want to thank our panelists. I think all today's presentations were absolutely fantastic. And I hope everyone derived as much hope as I did from today's presentations. I am the Director of Community Engagement for AIM. One of my principal responsibilities is to connect both patients and caregivers with resources as they begin to navigate this new diagnosis. And I hope they will come to our website. What we intend to have there for them is reliable, relevant, and up-to-date information so that they can really trust what they are accessing at our website. So they come to us primarily for three reasons. One is, I'm trying to see if I can go, there we go. It's self-advocacy. They're trying to grow and understand their diagnosis and their plan of care. And we have a soup to nuts website, everything from melanoma one-on-one, the stages, that kind of thing, all the way to potential side effects, how to manage them, and even clinical trials that are available. Probably the most one of the most important features that we have is our Ask an Expert. Melissa Wilson is a oncology PA. She is just a fantastic asset to AIM. She will reach out either through phone or by emailing people who want to ask a question. And typically they're asking things like they want to have an understanding of terminology, maybe they need to understand about next steps, or they want to understand their pathology report. She is not going to alter your plan of care, but she can help you to understand it better. So just a fantastic resource. Also, we have a very extensive video library. Today's symposium will be memorialized onto our website, but so are our symposiums from the last 2 or 3 years. We also have a webinar series. It's called From the Clinic to the Living Room, and Melissa Wilson is our host for that. What she does in those cases is take questions that often come to her through Ask an Expert, or perhaps a topic that she has seen through one of our symposiums, and she has time to elaborate that and maybe do a little bit of a deeper dive on a few of the topics. And then the last thing that we have in our video library is our podcast, which is called Beyond the Clinic. Our host is Dr. Ray Liu. He works in San Francisco for Kaiser Permanente. He's an oncologist. And what he discusses there are things that are not typically discussed in a clinical setting, but are really essential for thriving. So things like sun safety, managing anxiety, diet concerns, things like that. They're absolutely fantastic. And our this podcast has been going for about 18 months, and we plan to keep on going, and we have lots and lots to talk about. So then the other thing that people come to us for is questions of hope. We are very fortunate to have dozens of melanoma survivors that have shared their stories with us. It is this idea of moving from trepidation to hope and planning for the future. So I do encourage people to visit and read some of those stories. They're absolutely fantastic. They've been very generous to share their stories. And then secondly, we have a peer-to-peer support program we call Peer Connect. Dawn was speaking so eloquently about building a support circle for yourself. And we don't want to kick anybody off the island, but I would suggest it might be good to bring somebody into your circle of trust who has walked that journey before you, who certainly would be empathetic and understand the myriads of ways in which your life has been impacted by this diagnosis. So all you have to do is reach out through our website, and we will get started finding the right new friend for you in your journey. And then the last thing that people reach out to us for is they want to know how can they help and how can they be a part. And going back to Peer Connect, one of the things that people can do is offer to be a mentor. If you're a place in your journey where you would be able to serve as a mentor for somebody, we would love to take you through that training and have you join us. Also, we can certainly use support from the community with fundraising. We have fundraisers all across the country of all different kinds. One of them are our walk programs that we have. And so if you have the interest and ability to help us in some of our fundraising, that will help us make sure that we maintain our website, also that we fund our tissue bank, I encourage you to contact us, and we'll put you in touch with one of our fundraising directors. And then lastly, at the end of today, you will receive a survey. And that survey will ask you, what did you derive the most from in today's symposium? What other topics would you like to see presented to you, either through symposiums or webinars or podcasts? So if you could fill that out and send it back to us, that will help us to grow and be of more and more support for the melanoma community in the future. So thank you so very much. I have just been delighted to be a part of today's presentation. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Chris for any closing thoughts that he has.
Well, I again want to thank all of our speakers here today, and I do want to share a short story of hope. Back when we were treating patients with the horrible chemotherapies, we had access to. We had a patient who got access to ipilimumab before it had been approved by the FDA at a dose of about 3 times what we're currently giving ipilimumab at. And he had just a really fabulous response. And as we neared the 10th anniversary of the FDA approval of ipilimumab, I reached out to this patient, and the connection was kind of crackly and bad. And I said, hey, where are you? Should I call you at a different time? He said, I'm out hiking the Pacific Crest Trail currently. And it's going to be a couple days till I have cell service again. But yeah, we should talk. And that is a story of hope, because I can't imagine doing that in my healthy state. So those are those lives we're changing.